Hello everyone and welcome back to Tiki Taka Talk. And today we have number 16 of the weekly recaps. It is currently halftime of the PSG versus Bayern game. So I gotta make this quick so I can get back to watching that game. I'll be going over the Prem, La Liga, and the Bundesliga from the past week, giving you the results, the standings, the top 5 players, and the predictions. But let's get into it. Starting off, Leeds beat Burnley 3-1. Come on, Leeds. We're basically guaranteed to not get relegated. Brentford beat West Ham 3-0. This knocked West Ham down into the relegation zone. Wolves drew with Sunderland 1-1. I predicted that. I was 5 for 10 on my predictions. Newcastle beat Brighton 3-1. Arsenal beat Fulham 3-0. Bournemouth beat Palace 3-0. Manchester United beat Liverpool in the Derby 3-2. Spurs got out of relegation by beating Aston Villa 2-1. Nottingham Forest beat Chelsea 3-1. And Chelsea, man, they are falling off a cliff. 9th place. And Manchester City drew with Everton 3-3. That's the big one, because now Arsenal are 5 points ahead with a game in hand. Arsenal have just maybe clinched the Prem. Well, we'll see. Arsenal on top with 76, followed by Manchester City with 71. Manchester United have guaranteed Champions League football. 64 points. And 4th place, though, with 58 is Liverpool. Also tied with 58 is Aston Villa. And 16th with 42 is Nottingham Forest. 17th with 37 is Spurs. And 18th place with 36 points is West Ham. 19th with 20 is Burnley. And 20th with 18 is Wolverhampton. Burnley and Wolves, they're both relegated, so we basically already knew that. Top 5 players. Awoniyi gets the Prem Player of the Match Day. Jeremy Doku comes in second, followed by Senesi, Gyökeres, and Kelleher. For my predictions for Match Day 35, got a notification. Liverpool will beat Chelsea 1-0. Bournemouth will beat Fulham 2-1. United will beat Sunderland 4-3. Brighton will beat Wolves 2-0. Manchester City will beat Brentford 2-0. Nottingham Forest will beat Newcastle 2-2. Or draw with Newcastle 2-2. Aston Villa will beat Burnley 2-0. West Ham will beat Arsenal 2-1. West Ham, they've beaten Arsenal in title races many times. Can they do it again? Leeds will beat Spurs 1-0. And Palace drew with Everton 1-1. Moving on to La Liga. I was 6 for 10 on my predictions as Mallorca beat Girona 1-0. Villarreal destroyed Levante 5-1. Atletico Madrid beat Valencia 2-0. Athletic Club Bilbao beat Alaves 4-2. Barcelona beat Osasuna 2-1. Celta Vigo beat Elche 3-1. Rayo Vallecano beat Getafe 2-0. Real Betis beat Real Oviedo 3-0. Real Madrid beat Espanyol 2-0. And Sevilla beat Real Sociedad 1-0. In the standings, Barcelona are 1 game away from clinching it. But they have 88 points to Real Madrid's 77. It's an 11-point gap with 4 games to go. And El Clasico's the weekend. Villarreal in 3rd with 68. And 4th with 63 is Atletico Madrid. And in 5th with 53 is Real Betis. In 16th place with 38 points is Girona. 1 point behind them in 17th place is Sevilla. 1 point behind them in 18th is Alaves with 36. In 19th place with 33 is Levante. The relegation race in La Liga is coming down to the wire. Any of these teams could get relegated. In 20th place with 28 points is Real Oviedo. Top 5 players of the week. The best player of the week was Pepe. Roman in second. Hernandez in third. Vinicius Jr. in fourth. And Mikadze in fifth. My predictions for match day 35. Osasuna will beat Levante 2-0. Alaves will draw with Elche 2-2. Espanyol will draw with Sevilla 1-1. Atletico Madrid will beat Celta Vigo 2-1. Sociedad will draw with Real Betis 1-1. Villarreal will beat Mallorca 2-0. Athletic Club Bilbao will beat Valencia 2-0. Getafe will beat Real Oviedo 4-1. Barcelona in El Clasico wins 4-1. That's my prediction for El Clasico. And Rayo Vallecano beat Girona 1-0. Moving on to the Bundesliga. This is where my predictions were the worst they have ever been. I went 1 for 10. The only thing I got right was that Union Berlin and Cologne drew 2-2. But anyway, let's get into things. Hamburg upset Frankfurt 2-1. Frankfurt are just like Chelsea. They are falling off a cliff right now. Hoffenheim and Stuttgart, the battle for 5th and 4th place, is a 3-3 draw. Bayern, the top of the league team, versus the worst team in the league, Heidenheim, ended in a 3-3 draw. And that's the result that we're going into a Champions League semifinal. Augsburg beat Werder Bremen 3-1. Union Berlin, of course, drew with Köln 2-2. Leverkusen upset Leipzig, winning 4-1. Mainz beat St. Pauli 2-1. Mönchengladbach upset number 2 Dortmund 1-0. And Wolfsburg drew with Freiburg 1-1. In the standings, the winners, of course, with 83 points is Bayern Munich. Dortmund has 67 points. Leipzig has 62 points. Leverkusen, Stuttgart, and Hoffenheim all have 58 points. And 14th with 32 points is Köln. Also with 32 points, and 15th is Werder Bremen. And 16th and 17th, both with 26 points. In the relegation battle is Wolfsburg and St. Pauli. And in last place with 23 points is Heidenheim. Now, the top 5 players. Patrick Schick scored a hat trick in the game against Leipzig. The Bundesliga player of the match day, but also the player of the week. And second is Cade. Third, Tella. Fourth, Goretzka. And fifth, Zivzadze. What a name. My predictions for match day 33. Dortmund will beat Frankfurt 1-0. Leverkusen will beat Stuttgart 2-0. Hoffenheim will beat Werder Bremen 4-1. Augsburg will draw with Mönchengladbach 2-2. Leipzig will beat St. Pauli 2-0. Bayern will beat Wolfsburg 3-1. Hamburg will draw with Freiburg 1-1. Köln will beat Heidenheim 1-0. And Union Berlin will beat Mainz 1-0. Now, that is it for the weekly recap. So I'll see you next time on Tiki Taka Talk.